For us, whoops, I shouldn't show you all the repository I have access to. Too many organizations. There's some private one. All right, here, let's see. We'll name it BR1 Week 6, right? It's still human book. By now, your app is more beautiful than mine. Please forgive me. And if you make a pull request to make it better, that's okay. Description here is that start the code for week 6, okay? And we'll have another branch later. Now, when do you choose this option? When you don't have a repo and you choose this option, then you can git clone a project with one file, the readme file. Okay? If you already have a repo, like in my case, then I don't choose this option because I don't want it to have any files and commit yet. If you don't choose this option, you don't have a commit. And therefore, you get this page. If you choose that option, you don't get this page. So that can be scary. Now next, push an existing repository. So as now you know, by now you know there are different remotes, so you don't have to be too scared. You just add remote. Now look, I have a lot of remotes already, so I'm not going to use add origin. I'm going to use copy this line, and I say remote add like week 6. Okay, it's just another origin, and I put the URL in it. All right, here's another cool thing. Git push -u means upstream, so it means if you do this, next time you type git push, it automatically push origin master. I normally don't like that because I work with multiple repo. I like my fingers to remind me where I'm pushing to. So I normally just type this. But if you're early, normally you use origin all the time, just do git push, right? So I don't like git push, with -u, so I just git push week 6 master, yeah? All right, so here's another interesting thing. I'm like, okay, I'm pushing this branch to master, that's a different branch, this branch to that branch. That's a bit weird. Well, if I want to push this to the same branch, I can just tell it to just go that branch. Uh-oh. Now this is another issue for you guys. It's okay if you use HTTPS. I don't like typing my password in here, and it's two-factor authentication, so I have to pull out my phone and stuff. So I'm going to use the SSH URL instead. Now this means that your machine is set up so that it knows the secret key of your machine, and when you push, it accepts that. So I'm going to have to remove. Git remove week 6. It's easier to remove and add again. Otherwise, you have to use set URL, which is not as user friendly. All right, week 6. All right, git push week 6 lecture 6.1 start. Okay, we have it. Now refresh this. Now we have the repository. This is a branch because it's the only one, it's the default. You can go into the repository and choose the default branch as well. When you choose the default branch, it's the first one, so it's default, that's good. When you choose the default branch, then when you create a pull request, this branch is the main base. When you choose the default branch, when you click on branches here, it will compare other branches with this branch. So you'll see how many commits ahead and not ahead. So it's great.
This one doesn't have a master branch.
That's right, which is fine. Look, I have a default branch here. I know either Stan or I have to be really handsome, but the screen is brighter, so we're not as bright, right, Stan?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the number of commits. It compares this with master branch. I think she's just looking at Ian the whole time. Ian, look back at her and smile back. So you guys understand this? So next please, to start your project, I just accidentally What was that, didn't I? BR Human Book 6. Alright. So fork this project. So I'm gonna just say go fork this project. Where is it? Fork project from. Alright, I'm gonna teach you RSpec with a different repository. So you learn how to add RSpec to your project, but I'm going to do that using this milestone here. We're going to look at a fresh project. This should be enough for you for doing milestone 1. Let's do a fresh project. Alright, we just do actually bootcamp, Ruby, week 6, ignore me there. Rails new, D, PostgreSQL. What's new here? I tell it to not generate the test files. Oh, what's wrong? That's not good. That maybe Windows people will be fine. All right, so let's just go into this guy, and then we'll go and check out this project. What's the first step? All right, git commit, message, first commit, and what's this next step? Yeah, bundle and all of that. Now, here's something new. I'm going to add to the gem file. I go to gem file, go into development and test group, okay? This testing library is only used in development and test. When you put on Heroku, it doesn't need to do that. And then next, you're going to do bundle install. What else? Here's the cool part. RSpec comes with generator as well. So I'm going to generate some RSpec code. So far, 2 files changes. You can commit that. Maybe you can wait until this one. Oh, that's cool. So there's a spec folder instead of a test folder. There's a spec helper folder file instead of a test helper file. And that's it. So we're going to add all of these files, and we're going to commit and say add RSpec. Now, instead of running Rails test now, you're going to run RSpec test. Well, spec. When you run Rails test, it check the test folder. When you run RSpec, it check the spec folder. So you can say RSpec spec, or you type RSpec. In some cases, it may not work well for you. Then you have to do bundle install bundle exec RSpec. This is when RSpec is used across different projects, and you want to use the right version of RSpec. Sometimes bundle also allow you to do this, bin stubs RSpec. This is in the instruction. You don't have to worry about this. When you do this, it creates a bin RSpec file. That way you can run bin RSpec. Windows people don't have this, sorry. So you can run bin Rails, bin RSpec. This is more reliable, right? In general, it knows the right version to run for you. Add bin. All right, so RSpec, run it. Great, it ran all the tests. All right, which is there's nothing. Yes. Remove everything. You don't need any of them. We'll have everything again in spec, and it's just more beautiful to look at. All right. So right now you don't really need to understand the whole thing in here. It just set up the code for you. What we want is that model folder, the controller folder, and then we add some code. Here's the beautiful one. That's why I want you to generate a new project to learn it together. Let's imagine we're building a blog website. What is the model you use for the blog website? The post model. Rails generate. Lloyd knows this very well because he wrote the pre-work for designed the pre-work for the Ruby class. Rails generate model, and then post. All right, what's in the post? What's in the blog post?
Feelings.
Huh?
Feelings.
Feelings, like that? No, when you have a title, right? what's the type of title? But and then what's body? And then you maybe you support HTML or Markdown, probably Markdown, because nowadays it's it's the hot thing. All right, next. What do we do next? Migrate. You should check the migration file. And look, that is cool. That is cool. Look at this one right here. So first, migration file. Is it what you expect? I add a string column and a text column. Check it so you understand. Now under spec, you have a model folder. Ta-da! If you already have a model in your master one, you have to do this. Rails generate RSpec model. Let's say if you already have the user model, you want to just generate the RSpec file. You do this, okay? Okay. If you don't remember this, it's in the instruction, or just watch the video again. All right. Let's look at the test. That's cool. That looks. I have zero idea how to write a test here. Right? Add some tests. Fine, right? We'll have to learn to look at some doc. And I'll provide you a link. You want to look at RSpec version 3.3-6. They keep all the versions because the projects all over the world are using different version. So you can look at some of the things here. And this is very similar to this doc. Basically, I want to be able to, learn how to write some tests. Actually, oh shoot, what did I generate? Yeah, I generated a model. I think it's quite useless. Let's generate the whole scaffold. And take the time to work with your partner, because now you can learn how Rails generate the code that you can learn from. RSpec now include the, cannot be. It doesn't have a model test? I'm so sad. Oh no, let's see, controller. Oh, it has some cool tests. Let's run the test. Now you can run only controller tests with, we need to migrate, that's okay. When you do db, create db migrate, the test database also migrate with you, alright? What's wrong? What's the error? Sometimes don't overlook the error, yeah? It says something not already exists because I already practiced this. Great, you see that? And migrate. Alright, so let's run it. If you do this RSpec, it runs everything. If you just want to run one file, just put that file in there. Okay? So we have some yellow cases. These are the pending tests. They're just right there, so it's nice. Why are all the tests pending? That's not good. I want some passing tests. That's not good. I thought this is smarter than that. I was going to learn from them. But some of this is actually easy to write. Look, controller test. Go to index action. You create one post. Alright? When you go to the index page, you want the page to be successful. Sounds easy. I think this test here, valid attributes, is just a hash. This is the syntax to create a hash. So right now, maybe I have a post like, post 1. Alright? Hello world. Okay, hello world post. Body is, this is my first blog. So you see that I just changed the word skip, and now my test will use the valid attributes, and this will run this test. I'm going to try run this test. Rails, no, RSpec, test, controllers, not test, spec folder. Where's this file? Post controller, right? Controllers, post. I see a few tests here, so 3 pending mean I have 9 passing tests. That's pretty cool. And I can probably do format documentation to see exactly what it is. Here. So I know that my index page works properly, my show page works properly, my new, and etc. This is scaffolded, so let's see if it works properly. Go to Rails server. Don't worry, you will get to this. So I'm running right after you. Rails server, go to post. Why? Because we generate the whole scaffold, and then you can just play around here, but you can see how the test is written for the same, to go with the scaffolded code. So here's your controller code. By now you're quite comfortable to look at the controller code, and you can start to see how it works. Post params. It's quite similar to the code that you write. Okay? So today in the second milestone, you'll look at this and discuss together the file so far. Look at the controller, the model, what they write, and then look at the test as well. All right. So when I come back, we'll learn how to write model tests. But this is just learning from generated code. In the first milestone, you will be able to write the first few tests here. I already showed you the example. And definitely use, this is your Bible, right? This is your RSpec doc. Don't hesitate to go there. Oh, how do I write a model test, spec, a controller test, etc. And don't worry, it's a lot right now, but that's that's just for you to get started. This is life. So we just look at the whole new tool, and let's try to get comfortable with it. Okay, any question before I go? You can just start on the lab. Please, any question? All right, so here it is. Go ahead and please do pair programming. Find your pair if you, and then or three, it's up to you now. Or maybe Lori can help me. Or Lori and Dan. Yeah, find a pair. Maybe this today, Ian, you can get to choose yours.